Am I live? Oh, I'm live. Oh man, I gotta get my boob light out of the way. All right. Ooh. Ooh. First day of summer over here. But okay, I'm gonna wait for them. I'm gonna clean a brush while YouTube notifies everybody. So we all know once one hits, that's it. It's game time. Go. All right. So I am using Saints microfiber cloths. I like them better than paper towels. Any microfiber will work. Amazon has some good ones, but I do like Saints. And then I'm using our brush cleaner. It smells like cotton candy. Definitely do it in a better ventilated room than what I'm doing because it's my office, and do it in a ventilated room. Okay, I'm just gonna clean my brush. I should have brought my coffee. Doggone it. Okay. I should open a window. Today's extra fumey for me. But let's get started. Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Saint Artist. This eyebrow, what happened? What happened to you? Okay, so today, and today only, the Summer Glow Collection. It's a goody, goody, goody. Okay. This is the brush. This is the Demi Shape brush. You can get this one on its own. It's 25% off. All the Demi brushes are 25% off individually, but today it's 30% off with a collection. And this is your collection you want to have. This is the, if you don't like wearing a full face of makeup every day, I have half my face done, and I did not prior color correct. And I'm kind of impressed with myself. So I have a palette 4 here. If you have Saint makeup, you probably have a couple palettes maybe laying around. But if you have a 4, this is the kit. You could take it to the pool. You could put it in a Ziploc bag in a cooler. That's what somebody said on my live last time is what they do. I just keep mine flat and at the bottom of my pool bag, and then I pile my crap on top of it just to keep it shaded. I also keep my bag in the shade, and they don't typically melt, but this is the kit. If you have a brightening highlight, you're ready to go. If you have a lip and cheek, you're ready to go. This collection comes with Glow Illuminator. It's like a honey pot. It's the JLo Glow Illuminator. It's cream. It's good. Then Bella Bronzer in it. I'm going to swatch them. I've been getting a lot of questions asking for some comparisons, so I'm going to do some swatching of Honey. It's really pretty. It is sheer, and it's shimmery, and it is a JLo Glow. It's so pretty. I'm going to compare it to my other creams. I like the cream illuminators best. 1, you never have to worry about them breaking. 2, if you have, I mean, this is rose gold. This is what is a favorite, but they are quite similar. And then once you blend them down, they start looking just like an illuminator, a shimmer, and it's not adding tone or color. I don't think it does. So that's the comparison there. I also had requests for me to compare a couple of brushes, a few brushes with this collection. So the Shape brush, this is a great brush for blush, bronzer, setting powder. It's a light application brush if you want to use it on your whole face. This is a really good brush. When I got this brush to try, I just got it because, well, I wanted it. And when I tried it with my blush, I kind of geeked out on it. It's such a wonderful brush. But I had people asking me to compare it to the blush and bronzer brush to see if they're comparable. The answer is no, they're not. This is a good medium coverage brush. I love this brush. Hold on a minute. I just realized I have an appointment today. Oopsies. I got time. Okay, so here's the comparison to the brushes. I got 40 minutes. We're fine. Okay, so this brush is smaller. It's domey. It's a small version of this end. But the other side also significantly different. This one's much more dense and full. This one is smaller. So there's really they're 2 very different brushes, but people wanted to see them side by side, so here they are. Then they wanted me to compare it with the blend brush. So this is my favorite brush for color correcting. Use it every day. I love the darn thing. But the ends, you can see this one is a bit longer, a little fluffier. This one is shorter and a bit more dense. On the other side, it's more narrow, not super fluffy, but this one is more domey. That's the difference. So I don't think there's a comparison, but then they wanted me to look at the wash brush. So the ends, they're very similar. This was just a bit smaller, but I mean, if you wipe it, it's just a little bit smaller. They're very similar. And then the other ends, this one is very similar to the blend brush. Long, narrow, fat, and short and fluffy. That's the difference. I had people asking me to compare these two brushes. These ends, they are very similar. This one's clean, this one's dirty, so it's hard to... They're very similar. These are the ends that are a little bit different. This one over here, the dirty brush, that one is the blend brush, and that one is more short, gives you a little more control, a little more dense. And then this end is fluffier, and that's it. So that's the comparison of those brushes people wanted to see. Now you've seen them, and now I'm gonna do my face. I took my lashes off. Today's my anniversary, and we're going to dinner tonight, so I'm fresh lashing my face today. All right, so Summer Glow Kit, brightening highlight. I'm using Sunlit. I'm being very purposeful with my selections of these two colors, because again, this is the collection. I'm picking Sunlit because I have that darkness under my eyes. I'm not correcting today. And I like Sunlit because it has that yellowness, and so it has kind of a built-in corrector with it. And so I really like Sunlit when I'm doing a Summer Glow Kit. You've got your Bella and your Glow. Use it on their own, together. I'm going to show multiple ways to use them. And then I have Hollywood. Now, because I have my stuff, this stuff, because I have all this going on, well, not really this, but because I have this going on, I don't like using something punchy like baby watermelon, pink grapefruit, saffron, sangria, dahlia. It'll pull this through. And when you're doing something like a Summer Glow Kit, I like Frenchie, but it does fall a little, it doesn't have a lot of color, and I like to be more punchy. If you have very fair skin, go for it. I like Frenchie as goes with this color. That's how I like Frenchie. But Hollywood gives me that pink that I crave, but it also works with my discoloration. So that's why I pick it. I really went on about that, but I feel like I have to be really purposeful with my colors, and I don't like piling a lot of makeup on my face because it cracks, it changes consistency, honestly. And so yeah, I am also going to be using Super Goop. I'm going to be adding a link to my link tree for this. This is a resetting powder. It has SPF 35 in it. I like this because Saint has titanium dioxide in it, which works as a natural SPF, but you obviously, need more. So if you're going to be putting a lotion on, you're supposed to be reapplying every 2 hours. But if you put this on and then you put this on, you can't really go and put this back on. And that's why I like the resetting powder. They have a resetting spray, but I'm oily, and I know I have to touch up my oily skin, and that's why I like doing that with this. I use the blotting papers. If you're short on blotting papers, toilet liners work, unused toilet liners. But I like using this powder just to give it all a reset, and it also puts more SPF on my face. I will say, since using Saint, I have never burnt my face. I lobster from here down, but this beauty stays unburnt. I don't have to peel my nose off. So that's that. But I'm gonna make this side look like this side. So here it is. I like this, so we're gonna dig in. I am gonna use a little bit of the multitasker brush, but I'm gonna show different ways of using different things. You can take this, I'm gonna use the small end, and I'm gonna go into Sunlit first, and I'm going to lightly tap like I'm scared. Again, we're not putting a full face, full coverage makeup on. We are just putting a light coverage on, and I am going to tap this under my eyes. The small end of the shape brush is nice and fluffy. This is a light application brush. And so I'm just gonna sweep this on, and I'm just gonna build it up. But you see how it just kind of cancels it out? And I'm just very lightly, you see the tone changing, but you don't see the makeup applying. That tells you you're doing a nice light coverage. And I'm just gonna sweep this, and I'm gonna pull this farther down just to give it a little more of a natural fade, like that. And it doesn't look like I'm whitewashing my face. I'm gonna grab a little more Sunlit, and I get a little red right up here, so I'm just gonna sweep this up and over. I also have a little breakout in this area, so I'm just sweeping this up and over. And again, I'm not whitewashing my face. It's working like a corrector. Really nice, gives you that coverage you like, and it's not adding a texture of makeup because again, light coverage. Now I'm just pulling it out, lifting it up. I'm gonna come down the side right here just to get that top. I contoured with Bella over on this side a little bit, but I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm gonna grab a little more and I'm just gonna sweep over my Cupid's bow, and then I'm gonna sweep around my chin to make that brightness, but I'm also canceling out the redness on my nose. I'm gonna smash what's left on my brush into the crease of my nose because I do have redness. I wanna add more, but it doesn't add a scary texture of makeup. Isn't that nice? It's pretty nice. This is not a makeup look. I don't think it is, but it's such a great, I mean, people aren't wearing a lot of makeup. They're working around their house, doing yard work, sitting by the pool, laying out on the deck. You're not wearing that full face of makeup. This collection with this bronzer is so good because if you already have your makeup, you already have a brightening and you already have a blush. So this collection comes with this and this amazing brush. It's a great deal and it's free shipping. It qualifies for free shipping. All right, so I have my discoloration. Now this is something I just did and I was really impressed by it. I impressed myself. And so I have my discoloration. This gives me a huge amount of insecurity. I fixed it over here and I'm gonna show you how I did it with my stuff. But this is a big insecurity of mine. It's big. Okay, so I'm gonna go in on the small end and I'm gonna go into my Sunlit Brightening. So whatever your brightening is, this is you don't need a color match kit. If you don't have Saint and you just wanna do something like this for your everyday look, go look at the colors and think, ooh, that one looks a little too light. Perfect, that's the one you need. So I put Sunlit on. Now I'm gonna tap into Bella Bronzer and I'm just deepening it up. And I'm going to really lightly sweep over my discoloration. And it just does it. I don't know, but look at that. I was like, hot damn. A little bit of Bella, sweeping over, but because Sunlit is too light, and I think because it has those yellow undertones, it works as a corrector, but I'm able to deepen the tone to be more like a main highlight using that Bella Bronzer. So now I'm just gonna do it here. So tappy, tap, 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 tap. So it's not adding bronzer to my face. That bronzer just worked as a way of changing the color of Sunlit to match my skin better. That's pretty damn good. And I'm not looking to have a bunch of makeup. I have my skin texture, but not makeup texture. And I always say makeup will always look like makeup. It's kind of nice to be able to cover these things and not look like you have a heavy amount of texture on. So take what you want with that, whatever. I'm gonna go to the fluffy end. I'm gonna go into my Bella Bronzer. I'm gonna tap it on. Bella Bronzer is very creamy, so it does pick up very easily. So go light. You want your brush. This was a nice clean brush. Now it just looks like it's a little dirty. That's where you're good. If your bristles are sticking together or it looks heavy on the tips, you have too much, that's okay. We can work with that. And I'm just going to go around the sides and I'm gonna add warmth. I'm gonna contour. I'm just gonna contour it as warmth and coverage a bit, but it gives me that nice, look at how pretty that is. I mean, if you're not into contour and you have a bronzer, you can contour with your bronzer. It's okay. There's no rules. Do whatever you want. Grabbing a little more, and I'm going to bring that down right here, and I'm just sweeping that up in this area, kind of contouring, but I'm getting that when I contour, I always go right here, and then I add my bronzer on top. I'm doing both right now. That's all I'm doing. I'm working it as a contour, but I'm also putting it on as a bronzer. Okay, I'm gonna grab some bronzer. I'm gonna grab a lot of honey, and I'm gonna hit right here and drape it where my bronzer usually goes, but I'm adding that honey to it. And it just creates this really pretty dewiness. The illuminators, I'm gonna swatch some of my powder illuminators. To me, they get out of hand really easy. I think the powder illuminators are great for weddings as eyeshadows. Here's my powder illuminators right here. And so they're just very punchy. This is Starlit. This is a nice low flex, subtle, really pretty powder. But if you have a wedding coming up and you want, say you love honey, but you want it to be real punchy, go grab this one. This is, let me look, Georgia. Really pretty. Get back in there. But for brides, every bride I have, they like that cool tone, dark eyeshadow. You take Glamazing and add Glamazing to anything, and look at, that's bridal magic right there. It takes anything to a next level. This goes on every bride I've ever done. All two of them. All two of them. But my bridesmaids, I've done more bridesmaids than brides. I think I've done 8 bridesmaids. They always get Photoshop bride, meet bridesmaids. So there we go. They're really pretty. Those are great. I like them as eyeshadows more than I like them as illuminators because they are very, okay. Now I've been getting breakouts in this down here. And so I'm gonna do what I did on my cheeks where I grabbed that Sunlit, a little bit of bronzer, and I'm just gonna sweep this over my breakouts just to give them some coverage. I'm gonna take this their small end, I'm gonna go into Bella, and I'm gonna sweep this on my lid. And I'm gonna use this as an eyeshadow. Boom, boom, boom. Using the same brush as an eyeshadow going into oh my gosh, Honey, sorry. And we're putting that on the lid. And it's so subtle and pretty, and it's in the same palette, and you can use them together like that. You can grab a little more, highlight that brow, because we know I like to make it look like I've got lift. And somebody told me that would do that. I'm not drawing on my brows. I am going to take my multitasker on the small end, and you could easily use your bronzer to make a nice and natural wing. I can't wink this eye, so good luck to me. But you can just add a nice subtle brown. Wing, easy. Bronzer, it's okay. All right, next we're gonna go in with the blush. I'm going into Hollywood. I'm gonna put this in. If anybody has comments, do I have comments? Top chat, okay, I haven't seen comments, so if anybody's here, say hi just so I can see them. And I'm gonna I always start back here because I have that discoloration. I like Hollywood because it's nice and subtle. Madrid's another really good option if you like it on the more peachy side. I think they're same, it's just Hollywood's more pink and Madrid is more peachy. You can use Frenchie if you want, but those are some good options. I really like Hollywood as a summer thing. The other thing, it looks different, and it's because I've seen that trend where people are going down and then up. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna add a little bit of bronzer to it, and whatever this little area right here is, just bring it up. Why aren't I seeing any comments? I feel like I should be seeing, I wish I knew if somebody was commenting. All right, so we're coming up. I usually get comments, and that's why I'm saying that. Okay, all right. But adding that pink is really pretty, but you could just come up and gives you that summer brightness, like sunglasses. I'm gonna grab a little bit on the small end of my glow, and you can just add some more. It's just that J-Lo kiss, and you can put some. I'm gonna pinch the big end. I'm gonna go in to Bella a little bit, and I'm just gonna give my nose a little sweepy poo of bronzer to contour because I really like the look of my nose contoured. Grabbing a little bit of brightening to go down the middle. Boom, look at that. Look at that. A little bit of my Honey, hitting those little points, hitting my little Cupid's bow. I'm gonna grab my multitasker brush. I'm gonna go into Bella, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use Bella instead of a contour to contour my lips. I'm gonna grab my brightening highlight. I'm really bothered if I'm not getting my comments. I usually do. People usually say, hey. I wish I could see. I don't know, I've never had that happen before. Okay, let's see. We're gonna grab the pointy end of the multitasker, and I'm gonna line with Bella. Line it with Bella. But this kit is definitely something Hollywood you want for laying by the pool. If you're going on vacation and you don't want a lot of makeup for your dinners out, great, great, great option. Grabbing that, getting it all blended out. Then I'm gonna take my Super Goop. I like this stuff, you get little refills for this, but I also like the way this comes out. It comes out the middle. Did I not turn it on? Is it off? I can't ever tell. Nope, that's off. Okay. It comes out into the middle of the brush, you see that? So it has a little more control. I start at my temple and I can bring it in. Now I am oily, so that's why I like doing this, but it doesn't create a bunch of texture and I have to touch it up. So because it has to be done every oh, there we go. Hey, Amanda Desiree, thank you so much. I was wondering where comments were. I was like, where is everybody? But I like this because it doesn't create a lot of texture, and I'm able to touch up my sunscreen every 2 hours like they ask. Take it over your lids after you've put that on as your eyeshadow. I will put a link to Supergoop on my link tree. I really like this stuff if you have oily skin. If you have dry skin, they have a resetting spray. And so I would highly recommend getting one of the 2 of those. They work well with Saint. It's so good. But this brush is such a good light application brush. I love it. And then you can get an illuminator with it. It's good in your bronzer, and then together you can just tap in, grab into that. I really like to get into that illuminator, and then you can just add more bronzer and illuminator together. And I like that you have the option of having just a bronzer, or you can make it a shimmery bronzer by having that illuminator. Again, I'm going to reiterate this for the last time because I'm done. If you don't want a lot of makeup on your face in the summer to be poolside, this is your kit. I'm going to take the big end, I'm going to go in, and I always hit here first, like a contour, and then you just blend this out onto your neck, and it's good stuff. But I loved that I was able to take my brightening highlight, tap into it, tap into a little bit of bronzer, and use it as almost like a main highlight to cover my scarring. There we go. Look at that. I'm ready for the summer. I'm going to have to get my lounge chairs out because it is going to be a hot 63 degrees today in Oregon for summer. And I'm just going to detail my car. So it's the first day of summer for me. Last day of school was yesterday. I cried like a baby after I went live. Like a baby. It was ridiculous. But that's it. I like this. I really like this kit. Yesterday was a great kit for starting out and getting a good base brush collection. This is for those girls who already have their makeup and they want to add to it. This is it. You don't need a color match for a brightening. You don't need a color, like if you don't want to send me your mug, this is your kit. All right, so that's it. Message me, use my link, get this kit. This is such a good summer kit. And that's it. I'm gonna go get ready for the day and glue on some new eyelashes for my hot anniversary date tonight. Have a great day.